Again. Hey everyone, we're back for I don't know about hour or two, but the second half of the webinar.
Second
Brad
half. Yeah.
was had something. Brad, do you want to unmute, or are you gonna? Do you have how you want to explain what you're working on? And Jonathan, I saw he gave us a link to some different clipboard manager type things. I think yeah, there's a lot on the forum.
Yeah, there really are. But yeah, I think there are even a lot on the internet.
Right.
Because I think there's been made clipboard managers in a lot of languages and
Sure.
in a lot of ways, and yeah.
Windows
key plus V is built into Windows 10, and sorry, but what does that do compared to Control V?
Oh, apparently it shows you. I did not know this. It shows you your past. Good thing I didn't have any bad pictures. Oh, great.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I should have planned ahead.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay,
cool.
so it just has two, or what?
Let me see here. So I'm going to copy that, and now I'll do Windows V again. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, but it even has, you can scroll that, it seems.
Oh,
So
okay.
how far does the history go? Oh, it actually goes quite a lot back.
Yeah, man, great tip.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love learning stuff and live.
But that thing there, that is what Windows does, or Microsoft might be a way of putting it. I've seen it now with Office and everything. If they find something that people go looking for,
and look, and they have
pin it.
stickies. Yeah, that's really cool, right? So if it's something you use a lot, you can just pin it. Sorry, Jackie.
What does that then do?
Well, I would assume it's going to keep it in your list, right?
Oh, it will keep it in your list. Okay,
Right.
yeah,
So
sure.
now I'll copy this. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy that and that. Oops, that. Now let's see if it
Should
keeps
be
it
at the top, right? Yeah, it just keeps it at the top. And you can only have one pinned, or?
I thought I did too.
Yeah, but maybe you can only have one.
I'll pin that one now. Let's try.
Or you can maybe pin it in a place, or just.
Maybe you're right. That did seem. That's pinned. Or no, that's
no. I think it needs to be skewed or whatever to be pinned, like that.
Yeah. So why didn't that? Oh, you know what? Well, let me see now. Windows V. Well, I guess it still is pinned. Okay, you're right, Jackie. It seems to be. It doesn't push it to the top, at least. How's that?
Yeah. Okay.
And Brad, we're still. Brad used VM for that. I don't know what that means, but.
Can you hear me? No, we can't hear you, Brad. If you're saying something, use VM for that for your picks. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, but Brad, you want to let me you
virtual machine? Who knows?
Brad, can you talk?
I can.
There we go. Yeah. So what were you?
So what I've got is a couple of different things, and I use IE, and I finally started graduating after all the time we've talked over the years to doing other things that make use of COM and that type of thing for doing my work orders.
Cool.
So once I get in here, though, for example, I run into a few different things where it doesn't start the program, and I could show you that. And then I've got some frame issues and stuff like that, and I'd like to be able to sort through some different texts, and I can show you on my screen here. Let me just.
Before we do that, because we ran into this before, are you sure, this is data that's okay to be shared, on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, there's no passwords or anything, or
okay, as long as you're sure.
It's just work orders and stuff like that.
That's cool. Well, like I said, as long as, because once it's out there, like we'd have to delete the whole recording. So,
Okay.
want to make sure.
Well, you be the judge of it, and I'll bring it up.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. I just didn't want you to later go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, it's not simple to go back and just crop out a little thing. It takes time, and I don't have the time. But as long as
I get it.
yeah. So let me stop sharing, and then you go ahead and start sharing.
Okay.
And if for those of you, I think everyone here knows, but it's Brad's talking about web scraping and using COM, which is the Microsoft Component Object Model, to connect to IE and programmatically interact with the browser. It's really awesome.
I'm looking where where's the share button?
It's like the little green kind of button in the middle of the bottom.
Oh, you mean that great big one there that I missed?
Share. Yeah, they mislabeled it to share. So.
Okay, so let me close everything, and then I'll bring that up. So,
and so, because not everyone knows this, but you work on like routers and connecting routers for.
I do a lot of that kind of stuff, and I do a lot of access list type of work. For example, we have one police department that, well, the Department of Corrections here had 200 networks that needed to have 6 lines apiece. Well, I just decided to write a script because I could see that sooner or later, I get like 3 or 4 networks that sooner or later I was going to get something big. So it took me 45, after I rebuilt the script, it took me 45 seconds. Now this is what I run into right here. Are you recording?
Yeah.
I run into this DLL call here. That's one of the things. And then so this is IE with, and it takes a little while. I wish there was an easier way to do it or a different way that would be faster, but this, once you start running the script, it's awful quick, really. I'm not really surprised at all when it comes to filling in all of my serial numbers and everything else. It does it pretty quickly. I'm kind of surprised. And actually, I'm only down to 1 order right now, I think. So if we look at this order, oh, wait a minute. Let me step back for a second. When I have this come up, I'd love to be able to just say, click on that and have it do it for me. So this is what I run into here. I get that frame.
Right.
Okay. So then I'll just click on that. And then I'd love to have it click on this one, OET router. And then I'd love to have it click arrow down to my assigned orders. And then I can click on whatever orders they are. So what I've got right now is I'm able to pull all of this data out of here using the stuff that you've shown me over the years. The problem is like, let's say, for example, each one of these, and this is not a good example, but they'll have a user that has specific, their address, their phone number, everything's in there. And I'm able to pull that information out, but I don't know how to cut it up. And they follow the same procedure every time. So I can depend on, when it says address, below it is their home address, and one more line below that is their I can depend on that information to be there, that type of thing. So mainly mine was just a simple thing. I'd like to do the frame, figure out how to get around that, and then I could pull up some other stuff. I kind of hate to pull it up with the home addresses of people in there, though. That could be a problem. But I could show you, offline what it looks like, or just send you a picture of it. And in fact, I could just email you one.
No, it's fine. Well, let's back up a step, because one is, do you have my syntax writing script?
I do. Let me pull it up here.
And so, for those who don't know, I have a little script writer for writing AutoHotkey's web scraping syntax to connect to COM and stuff. It's not perfect, but it helps when, some of the stuff is pretty specific, and
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it helps.
Oh, wait a minute. But you know what? I get this one. I pull it into. I got the exe out there. I can go get that. What happens? Is there something I'm doing wrong when I got this in here? This is just a scriptwriter text.
Actually, Susan had the same issue when she downloaded something. It looks like the same issue. It wrapped it did something really weird with the wrapping when you downloaded a file.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it before, other than when Susan did it, which apparently Susan left.
Well, I'll pull up the screenwriter exe. It works just fine. Screenwriter. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do screenwriter. Where's my exe here? Let me get it. Yeah. So
there's at least two. I'm sure there's more approaches, but two come to mind. One is which was what you're trying to do, which is probably the right approach, is to try to navigate to the frame and interact with that. The other one, which is depending on how often you do whatever, is just use like something like FindText to just look for that kind of thing and click it, right? Which can be done in 30 seconds. We can figure that out.
All right, hang on. I'm just
tricky.
I know, I just had it the other day. Just a minute here. Let's go on. When in doubt, use DOS.
You know what? I can share files in Zoom. I can drag that file.
Here it is. Auto scriptwriter.
No.
Where the hell did it go? IW Learner.
Web scraping AHK writer.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Should be in the same directory. Web. Oh. All right, so there we go. We got it. And if you want to drive, let me know.
Yeah, why don't you do that? That'd just be easier.
Okay.
And go ahead and start whatever editor you're using.
So far, I'm still using this.
Okay. I gotta maximize the screen because I just can't see that well. Did you give me control yet?
Let me see. Do you have to ask for it, or
you have
remote?
to pass it? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move this over here and. Oh, that's funny. Apparently I moved the Zoom window, not the. I'm trying to move your window. Let's see if that'll work. There we go.
And we could close out all this other stuff out of there. Okay.
I don't care. I just wanted to get this one. And let's get the... Well, you know what? Let's just start a new one.
Okay.
Because you have this running. So first thing we got to do, we're gonna connect to the current version of IE. Hopefully you have the function somewhere.
Here, I got to turn that bot. I do have it in the other one, yeah. But okay, go ahead.
I'll leave it in with the function, so we don't have to worry about it. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the actual function that we're going to call. So we'll just return this down the bottom. It's in my library, so I don't usually use that one. But So we're gonna. So now we connected to it, and now where was the you drive for a second here? Where was the window that was before this one? You had to click something that had a frame behind it.
Oh, okay, it's right. Let me go to home. Do you got to click on home?
No.
I'm trying to click on home.
Come on, ET, go home.
So this is the one right here.
Okay, and then get the WB2 learner tool back up.
Okay. So I control and hit the left button. Okay.
No, the IWB2 learner tool.
Oh, sure. Is it behind you? Where is that one? Where is it?
Yeah, I saw it in the list.
I just had it.
That's it right there.
Where'd it go? I'll just start it again. There it is.
That looks like an older version, but it's still it's all okay. Just leave it. Just leave it because we know it's a frame. My version. Come on.
I know I have the other version.
Come on. For whatever reason, it's not dropping in on that.
Here, let me just look at is it already loaded here? Normally, whenever you're trying to do something like this, it's always a problem. Hang on, Joe. Let me just load the other one. So I'll just kill this.
The class name one will, yeah.
There you go.
Well, this thing is there. Oh, there.
And the reason you're seeing that is because of the zoom level, Joe.
It's
that part doesn't seem to be in a frame, but the
well, this I don't know if this is the frame. The frame that I'm interested in is over here.
Okay, I thought you said that when you went to click on that, it was in a frame.
Yeah, but
this one is
that one over there at the okay. quick links.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why. Okay. So now we'll copy here. That I think copied that to the clipboard.
Mm-hmm. And then we can click on the untitled one over here. Hang on, I got it.
Yeah, thank you. I can't see it. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I'm going to do is go back to my tool and say set on page. Or is it miscellaneous? No, where's the advanced? I don't use this that often, but oh, here we go, advanced. And one level, hopefully, and that has an ID, so we'll use the ID. So this just gives you an example of something that you can mess with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to paste this to see what we got. Whoop. Why did that? That's interesting. There it goes. So now I'm going to undo that. And in here, this is where we would put in that ID. And theoretically, if we run this,
you got to have a you're missing a quote right there on the ID name.
so this is a great sign, right? It actually got a URL from that path, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's good. And then I'm trying to think, Jackie, once you get that, boy, what are we going to use?
To me, when looking at that, just as it is there, the OnClick JavaScript that's then run is open shift click window. I can't see it all because of the chat, but I saw it just a moment ago, and then it's actually going to a what seems like a pretty standard URL. So RR sysforms course errors voice web vendor control panel default plus admin plus view, and then it's passing in a few parameters: catch ID 4F883BB, and the amplifier mode is create, and that is then opened in a new tab. So and as soon as the new tab is opened, everything from the previous tab is then no longer valid. That's just simply what happens when you open a new tab. You can't follow along code-wise per se. So I'm unsure if it makes a lot of sense to try and automate the clicking of this vendor console part.
Yeah.
Because all you get is it opening a new tab with an URL loaded, and then you need to find that IE window and connect to that and start acting on that.
Well, I certainly could live without this. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, it is. I was trying to solve it, you know, and just the other stuff. I guess manipulating data would be.
But this is still one, just FYI. Like, if I was doing it, I could use FindText to look for this and click it in 10 seconds.
Well, how'd you do that?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you'd have to have the FindText tool there, and so I can't. But you know what I can do? All right, let's do this. Oh, and I can't. I don't think I can do. It's funny. Oh, there we go. All right, so I just took a screen clipping. I'm gonna right now. I'm gonna stop your sharing. I'm gonna share my screen. I gotta pick a screen.
Okay, there we go.
That's fine. So you can see this is from his screen, right? And then I think I have a hotkey for this here. Alt F maybe. Yeah. So this is the GUI behind FindText. And I'm going to say, oh, I want to capture an area. Where do I want to look? I'm going to look there. Let me get rid of the stuff above it, the stuff below it. That's fine. A little on the left. Great. That's good enough. I'll use, that's going to look pretty good. And I'll say vendor, just as a description so I know what the text is. Hit OK. And now it created this like encrypted value. Now when I hit test, it's going to say, oh, hey, you know what? This says OK. That means it found it. It took 3/4 of a second to find it. When I hit OK here, it's going to move my mouse up to it. So watch this. I'm going to hit OK. And bam, move my mouse right over it. Right? So then all I have to do is change it to say, you know, click here, wherever you find this.
Oh, wow.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so easy. And I used to, and I'm not arguing against figuring out how to do it with frames, but
why would you?
Well, when you want something to be very, highly accurate, reliable, consistent, that'll work on other people's computers or other of your computers and stuff, those are better approaches. Having said that, if it's something that you're just going to run by yourself, and even then, I'm like, you know what? It's so fast, right? It's so easy to do. You have any thoughts, Jackie? What?
Yeah, to me, one of the real differences is that if you actually manage to do it in COM, you could do it without even having the window visible.
It's a great point. When you mentioned how long it takes to load and everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you could probably backwards engineer more of these things, because I'm unsure if he actually needs to go into that one and click the window console, because he already has the full string of what URL he needs in the next tab. So only if he actually needs the cached ID does it make sense to go that way. I would say just loading into the URL and hoping it works without having a cached ID.
Brad, go ahead and share it again. Sorry,
Would
Jack.
probably be one way of getting past some of it.
Yeah.
But as we've talked about before, Joe, if you want to click stuff on your screen, just automating what you yourself do,
Right.
then stuff like FindText can be a great way of doing it, because moving the mouse around and clicking on screen, that is what a human already does.
Right.
So that is not necessarily the wrong way of doing it. And if it's way quicker to develop doing it that way, that is an argument in itself. If it's quicker to do, and if there's nothing unreliable with clicking pixels on a screen. The only thing that really becomes a hurdle is if you wanted to do it on another system, one that doesn't have your graphics card, one that doesn't have your resolution, one that doesn't have the same color settings as yours.
Right.
Oh.
Stuff like that, because it's an image and the pixels needs to be arranged in a specific way.
Yeah.
So that's where imaging clicking tools has a limitation, where COM, it's the same website, it's the same browser, from system to system, the same code would work. That's where you have the differences in those two, right? But
So
this
you're saying learn how to do the frames if you really want to do it?
If you want to do something that you would be able to do on different types of systems. Now I see Jonathan, he said, you can try Selenium IDE, again, depending on what you want to do. I'm not for using Selenium to do it, just because, but if it wouldn't make it easier for you, it's the same things that you, it might load faster, yeah, but the development time wouldn't be less. You would then need to learn Selenium or how they did it in Chrome.
Look, fellas, when I look at the stuff you write right now, I'm going to retire in a year and 3 months.
But who's counting?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Let me do this for you. Hang on.
He's got
here's AutoHotkey.
Here's how many minutes he has until he retires.
What is it? Ret Detail, is it?
That's hilarious.
No, I got to show this to you. Just a second here.
Right. But yeah, we get it.
But there's a page you can. Ret Retired, I think it's called. Nah, it's right here. I got it right here.
Yeah, that's the problem with hot strings is.
But I mean, I got to tell you, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be just, BTW and Ret Date. It's not loaded. But anyways, I just do everything now. I don't do anything without, and here it is.
So getting back to what Jackie was saying, though, is cool.
Yeah.
The path that was listed under that vendor console, like it looked like, and often does, you'll see, instead of actually coming to the site and clicking it or doing anything, you might be able to grab that and load that page straight away, right? Sometimes those things will change, the link it's showing, and sometimes they're static and sometimes they don't change, and you can avoid the whole go to the first page, right? It just depends on what's going on.
Brad, if you can give me control, I'd like to try something.
Well, of course. Ask. Let's see, how do I? Remote control. Can you run it?
Yeah, it seems as if. So if I just go, I'm trying to click stuff on screen.
Yeah, it's not. Wes isn't moving.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Don't know. Let's see.
I saw it in the status
element
bar even.
So speed, no.
They don't spend a lot of money on the computers I get to use here.
That's fair enough. Okay, so here we have the OnClick code. Just okay. So apparently it's in multiple. How? Oh, so it's both a normal link and it has JavaScript that happens. Okay. Let me just remove that. Let's go away with that. Let's take these 2 lines. You had made something new somewhere, hadn't you, Joe?
Yeah.
There it is.
Frame test, yeah. I'm trying to get rid of some on-screen fill up here. Okay, so when looking at this, I see this part here, this part right there. It seems to have something that's very static up to this point. That part there, that's totally static. And then there's this small part here that seems to might be varying. I wouldn't be able to know if it actually did vary or not. But let me see. It's irritating.
What do you need?
I just need this page here. I need this part. And for some reason, I can't find your control bar. I can't see it.
What do you want? Control?
No, the taskbar on Windows, so I can switch between windows, but I can't see it.
You should be able to do Alt-Tab. I use it all the time, yeah.
So to me, here, when looking at this part here, just grabbing the URL just as it is, it has a cache ID up here, and it's not the same as the one down here. So there is some difference there, but just looking at this, if I took this part and see there are the differences there. So this is the difference. It's there. I'm just building another URL.
Okay.
This is something that you could do entirely without clicking on the page. So now I believe I've built another URL string. And just to kind of test it, I'll open a new tab and paste in a new URL up here just to see if that actually does something. I'm unsure of speed and stuff like that, but and I have a lot
I would be suspect if I were you.
Oh, so now it's clear, and now I can paste something in, and now I can click enter. Is it actually taking what I'm putting in here?
I think so. You want me to try take a look?
No, something is happening, but I'm not seeing.
Well, it might be referring to my username and password. Is the only thing I'm wondering.
It normal security, that's how I'd say it, should be kind of stopping part of this, just to make sure if this one could do it. I have a bit of input lag here, so I have a hard time changing these strings.
Well, I'll tell you what. Can I ask you guys one other thing? Because I can live with this, and maybe some other
it did actually load there, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, that's yeah, and then you hit yes. You're right. It did load.
So what I did actually did work. It seems. Just had a hard time of loading it. So instead of going here to this part and clicking on that. I just loaded an entire new page with this URL right there.
So
And
you could bookmark that, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, that small part there. If it doesn't work the next time you try it, Brad, this is most likely that small code part that I've now selected. That is the variable that will make it work or not work. But I can't say, because right now you've just logged in and we could use the one that was already there.
And it might last 24 hours. I mean, things change, right?
Well, one thing, when you mentioned login.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I can't seem to get this. I did have it work. And let me just show you this real quick. I'm going to close this. And then otherwise, I don't want, this stuff is real easy for you guys. I don't like to bore you either. It would be nice if I could just hit the oh, where the heck is my... Yeah, I mean, just to log into it. If I do this right here, I want it to just log into it and put my name in there, right? And then I won't bother you anymore on this stuff. I mean, I just feel, I feel like I'm talking to, the monsters of the game here, and, so 1797. Yeah, I had to fool around. This should be PWB, right?
Well, that really won't matter, but it's the function on that line. PWB underscore get is the function. It's saying call to non-existent function. That's where it's getting hung up.
Okay.
The WB and PWB, those are just variables you're creating, right? So it can be whatever you want.
Well, here's what I really just want it to be able to pull this thing up, and if it's up, great. If it's not, I just like to know the difference because I use it all the time. Is to just either, if it's not up and I'm not logged in, I'd like it to just put in my username and password.
Yeah, what I usually do is check somewhere on the page, more often than not, there's some sort of either an icon or something with your name, something showing you're logged in, and that's what you want to check for.
Okay. So sooner or later.
I think it's later.
Well, guys, I don't want to bore you with this stuff. We can do it some other time. I can just play with it some more and see. But what I really want, I get these DLL errors, and I just need to follow your video again and see if I can get it right.
Yeah, I'm curious where a DLL error is coming from, because I didn't see how you're using a DLL call.
Well, let me put it in the original file it was in. Oh, okay. So if I just type in COSW, quit helping me. So it's going out to get it right now. I would hope your computer runs faster with IE than this.
Yeah, it always depends on the website itself, right? And that's why some of the newer sites, Chrome is much faster at, but yeah.
You can't do anything with Chrome, though, can you? I mean, you can, but you...
Geek Dude's class, he has a class for automating Chrome.
Who has... Oh, where?
on the forum.
Okay, so here's the DLL call I run into. And then, so all I wanted to do was put my name in and my password.
But that said line 228. And what program is that in on line? What is line 228? Did you see it, Jackie? Where it was? I saw the 228, but
it's going to be right here. 228.
It's just a part of it getting the control of the IE window, but it's most likely a matter of a lot of different code that leads up to the get function, and it would probably be some code to look through, but apparently whatever is passed into the PWV get one here.
And this is from Joe's thing here.
well, it's Jethro.
Yeah, but
Jethro, then I thought, hey, what do I know? I should keep. If you were going to do this, if I took this out of here, you would put in the function, and if I followed your video, I should be able to get this to work.
Someplace in your script, this VB get function or PVB, depending on the naming convention, is being used somewhere further up in your script.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Well, it's almost an hour over, fellas. And
yeah, but it's fine. Let me just take a piece of control here.
Would you like me to put these two things in one directory, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want?
Up here, this VB get is being used when you do this, and you already have some stuff going on over here, up here, and here. So if like so, and then you have Windows active, and then you use this PV get without passing in anything. So you're trying to get the active window. So whatever is loaded in IE is what you're trying to get here. And at the moment when you do it, and this is me guessing, the page has probably not finished loading.
Well, Joe had that thing about how to make it wait, and I could never get to work. It was always erroring out.
No, yeah, it's the one here. And this one can error out if this navigation here goes through a security loop, so to speak, where it actually changes the COM object. It's kind of advanced. But this navigation event here might be going through something that makes it drop the COM object that's already there. So the safest way to get around an error like the one you had would be to, first and foremost, before trying to figure out everything, is put in a big sleep here. Let's say 5 seconds of sleep. If I save this and run it, I'm pretty sure, without knowing, with the speed of the system and stuff, 5 seconds is enough. But my guess would be that when you type COVW dot, whatever it was, is that SW period.
Stands for Cosweb.
Yeah.
Then just spacebar.
Yeah, I did that, and it's
I'm sorry.
Behind there, right?
Yeah. So go ahead and click on it.
It's currently loading, or whatever it's doing. And to me, it looks as if it might be taking longer than 5 seconds. But there you have it. This variable has not been assigned that's a warning. It's not an error.
You have the warnings on?
So warn is on in the script. Oh. So what we got there wasn't actually an error message. It was just
A warning.
warning that the variable hadn't been used before. Where is warn? Is it somewhere?
Where's what? There, I think it's down below.
Yeah, sure. So I'll just comment that out.
Yeah, very few people ever have that on.
Okay.
Okay, if it's fair enough. If people have some kind of good use of it, fair enough. Keep it on. So, tool and run.
I'll just here do this. Hit this. If you hit the button once, it saves it. If you hit it again, it runs it.
Yeah, it's nice. Go away. And then it was COSW dot
period.
Okay. So IE is loading somewhere currently.
I hope so.
Yeah, it probably is. There it is.
You know, as Sam Kinison said, I'm starting to see dead relatives wait for this to load. Do you know who he is? Do you know who he is, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I love the guy.
Was, right?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah. I can't quite yell as loud as he could, but...
Oh, God, he's funny. So maybe that warning and all that stuff has to be on top.
It's still warn, so apparently it didn't reload the script or what?
Oh, there it is. It filled it out.
It's running more than once.
No, it's going to be...
Yeah, but yeah, the warn, that's the thing that's giving you the message box, but the rest of it should work now with the sleep there. But the sleep is, of course, not the best way of doing it.
Yeah.
It would be better to check.
Do like a while and wait for something to exist first, Jackie?
Yeah. I'd say the normal wait would probably work in this case. I think it's a matter of that message box probably making us think that it didn't work, but the code most likely did work.
Should we put that all on top and then run it?
Just like, are there more warns in here, or?
I don't think so.
Just like warn shouldn't have been on anymore, unless it. Okay. There's a lot of includes here, so all of these could have warn in them.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So
I got to go through each file and make sure that those are gone.
At least if you don't want to have that information about a variable not having been assigned a variable before. This one also starts automatic. That's also kind of...
I got that starting automatically up there. I'm sorry about that, but here, let me do this. Let me grab the... I was trying to do some other stuff too, where we have automated... reminders too from Outlook. I mean, you could be doing this stuff forever. I love it. Okay. So if we said, and you do have the warn turned off in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we just type COSW now.
Mm-hmm.
But if a warn is in any other file,
it's just like having it in the one you're on.
Right. Using include would include everything from your other file, and if the warn director was set there, then it would still be active.
Okay. Well, that's one thing I really like about Notepad++. I can load up all the AHK scripts and get rid of it.
And get it what?
I can open up all my AHK scripts and just do one command and it will do all of the files. Everything that's in memory, I'm able to clean it up with one command from Notepad++.
Yeah, I use a script that I can say kill all running scripts, but I have a lot of stuff I don't want to quit, right? I mean, I wouldn't.
No. I meant if I wanted to edit 50 scripts to get rid of the warn that it is warning me, I can have it go out and find the symbol warn, and it can replace all of the warns in all of those files.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Studio too.
Pardon me?
AutoHotkey Studio does that.
Yeah, I just haven't spent enough time with it. You know, it's an incredible program.
I'd say that for the most part, warn is probably giving you fair warnings. So unless you're really sure of not needing it, I'm not sure you should be removing it from all of your other AHK file. It depends on if you never use the information it gives you or if you sometimes use it. If you never use the information, then of course remove it, because then it will give you stuff that looks like errors when it is not. Yeah.
Right. Well, like for example, I changed the name of the initial script I have, and I got rid of the one that I usually have. So with AutoHotkey, I just went through all of those dependent scripts and looked for the names of stuff and changed them out and got rid of them. It took me about an hour to do that, where normally it would take a couple weeks to clean all that up. So that, you know, I don't use Notepad++ with AHK, but when it comes to bulk things like that, it works just super.
Yeah.
I use
what?
WinGrep grepwin is a great tool for searching across files, replacing text in multiple files. It's awesome.
Oh, so I use AstroGrep, but it doesn't do a search and replace. WinGrep, and I think I've got it on my computer.
grepwin. Yeah.
There it is.
I think I'm at about where I should be ending, Joe.
Well, yeah. Hey, you know, guys, thanks so much for spending the time with me.
Thanks, everyone. Hopefully we learned a little here.
Yeah, make sure you save it, because I'll watch it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways,
thank
you so much.
Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you next year.
All right, talk to you then.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.